the late years. So, families in the late years, the family members need to learn to cope with bereavement and living alone at this stage. See, in the late years, it can happen, and we all have seen with our parents, with our elders at home. If any one of the parent or uncle, aunt, or any older person who dies, that the other spouse, if one of the spouses is dead, the other spouse stays alone. So in this age, we all need to learn to live alone, with bereavement of losing one of the life partners of the society. So society's expectation will keep children away. Most of the time, children, due to their priority, due to their jobs, or due to different lifestyles, they may not be staying with the parent. So that is the time where the expectations of the old age parents are not even able to be fulfilled by the children. So this is that stage. So very often helpers like home nurses have to provide required services to the parents. So many such time these kind of services are being used. Now, the next is family resources. I hope we all understand this family life circle, and this is interesting and it's very easy for everybody to follow. If there are any questions related to that, you all can answer that. Family resources. So family resources means it basically starts from the down thing, physiological needs. See, when we talk about physiological needs, see, now here I would like to say something. This There is a person called Abraham Maslow. Tomorrow in my session, in tomorrow's session, we are going to study some of the theories of personality development, and this person has given this theory. So we will study in detail about this theory, but here I'm just going in brief about it, and tomorrow again we will study this. So physiological needs are food, drink, sex, clear air, water, good health. This is under the physiological needs. Then we need safety needs. So safety means you have a roof over one's head, housing, clothing. These are all safety needs. Then you have love and belongingness needs, to have a family, community to belong to have a shoulder to lean on need for acceptance, giving and receiving love. You know, then you have self esteem. That means self respect and respect for others. That's important. Then self actualization. See, self actualization means self fulfillment. Self fulfillment and reaching one's potential to become somebody in life. So that's again very important. You know, so this is something really important for us to understand. Just a minute. So now again, marriage in India, marriage is usually classified as follows. That means marriage by free choice of the partners, or love marriage. It could be arranged marriage. It could be forced arranged marriage. You know, and it can be further classified as monogamous or polygamous, civil, religious, or customary. So marriage could be any of these, types. So in you can imagine in your countries, you all are from different countries of Africa. So you all can see what kind of marriages are more common in your country. So here they have given a just basic concept of marriage. Then responsible parenthood. See, responsible parenthood means early marriage. Early marriage and parenthood have been the established pattern in many societies, and it remains so despite the efforts of a number of governments to raise the legal minimum age of marriage. As I told earlier also, in India, the minimum age of marriage is 21 for boys and 18 for girls. You know, so adolescent needs as much information as possible on what is expected out of them when they marry and then raise a family. So responsible parenthood includes understanding of family planning. See here, this is see. this is a concept I think we all can relate with it. I am not very sure how it is there in your countries. You know how and what is the age of marriage considered in your countries. But here, you know, what I have seen in my life and my professional experience, you know, I was a kind of, I think you all have taken classes for me in the first year also. See, my background is of the child protection stream. I'm working in the child protection stream, and I was a member of child welfare committee where we were dealing with children who are in need of care and protection. So I had seen many times many children, you know, due to they are eloped, you know, in their because they are the adolescents in adolescence age and they start liking each other, you know, have a liking for the other person. They leave their homes, they get married in the very early ages. Many times I have seen children getting married in the age of, I would say, 14 to 18 years. So, as we have studied here, also here that the age of marriage is 18 for girls and 21 for boys. But but I had seen many cases where they have come, you know, at that kind of a age, like 14 to 18 years. So they are not aware of how their understanding of marriage is not fully developed, their body is not fully developed, their body is not fully developed, you know, and these kind of things are observed. So that's something which is important for we all to understand. Then, traditional Indian values. So, traditional Indian values, what are traditional Indian values related to family life education? See here, in India, in India, we have seen, in India, we have seen that like some other Asian and Pacific countries, where status of women is lower than that of a man, socio-cultural values like preference for son, early marriage are quite evident. Historically, the traditional and ideal family in India is the joint family. A joint family generally includes 3 to 4 living generations, including uncle, aunts, niece, nephews, grandparents living together in the same household. So India is an extremely postnatal society, and male children have always been given preferential treatment. You know, so this the wife is blamed if she could not deliver a male child. In a traditional Indian family, home was considered as an ideal place for women, and women were discouraged from working or even looking for a job outside the home. Yeah. So child rearing was considered as the principal responsibility of the wife. Education for girl children is discouraged. So, in traditional Indian society, intercaste marriage is discouraged. So, these are the things, as I was telling you earlier, and what we have read in this paragraph also, in India, and even in today's time also, in villages, you know, and there are orthodox kind of families where the importance for to have a male child is you know, given preference. If the male child is not born, and wife is always blamed for that, and wife is never allowed to go out for jobs. Woman, basically wife means a woman, so woman is generally not allowed to go off for jobs and to do any work outside the house. So those kind of things are always observed in the in our, and especially even today also, this practice is there mostly. I would say that if I am born and brought up in Delhi, in cities, metro cities, these kind of things are not really visible, not very common. But in villages and the places which are very small and still follow the old norms and values, so these kind of traditions are more common. Yeah. So now we will study about the importance of different types of values in family life. So this is something which is very important, you know. Here we have to study. We have to study what are the different kind of value system, you know, what we can relate with our family life education. So types of values have been recognized as theme in a family life education and as a problem confronting family life educators. There are different type of values. Some of the most important type of values include, you know, here moral and ethical, religious, aesthetic, health, economic, legal, cultural, educational, personal, and prudential values. So we are going to study in brief about some of the important values here. So the first thing here is moral or ethical values. What do we understand by moral or ethical values? See, when we say moral or ethical values, it means basically it varies from society to society, from culture to culture. It cannot be the same. Moral or ethical values, what we believe in our country, I won't say in our country, if I am a Hindu, if I believe in a Hindu religion, and if I value, if I have certain kind of moral values, it may not be same for any Muslim or any Christian family. So that's how it says that it varies from society to society, culture to culture, place to place, from time to time, you know. So it changes. So basically, it makes a difference of how human conduct and how his character is. Generally, basically, it refer to moral attitude of an action, whether they are good or bad. So moral and ethical values are expect and trauma principle of rules of right conduct, how we conduct ourselves. That explains how we believe in moral or ethical values. You know, so it means personal integrity, tolerance for diversity and differences, social responsibility, respect for persons, and sense of justice have an important place in family life education. So that's important. Then it's again important that rights and interest of all involved in a situation. That's important. Then intention here is to be able to overcome egoism and to be able to see things from other people's point of view. So this is what we understand by moral or ethical values. Next, cultural values. So how do we understand cultural values? So this says it, you know, every value is a cultural value because the central way in which one acquires a value is by acquiring a language. Language is a public cultural artifact. You know, here they say that two important points about cultural values are significant to family life education. So if we, you know, inculcate and if we try to understand cultural values in family life education, you know, with this concept of family life education, it has basically two important aspects. What are that? First, cultures have some commitment both to be a set of dominant ideas and to be a set of greatest fears. This is basically a commitment, you know. So it is a culture of commitment. So that is important. And second point here is that do not remain stagnant. You don't remain stagnant. Stagnant means there are likely to be conflicts, you know, generally in the any cultural values, any value system, we may have conflicts. So we have to accept and we have to move on with these kind of a system. So here it says conflicts within the culture about its dominant ideas and fears are in existence, you know. So some of these conflicts will have to do with topical central to family life education because these intracultural conflicts are sensitive issues and often problematic for families. So, family life education program prepare individuals to deal rationally with these kind of a changing ideals. So, that's important. Next is religious values. See, religious values in family life education are very important. You know, so there are many different among religions. A number of features appear to be common to many of them. A belief in a supreme being or a set of beings or a set of concept. Usually, generally, they may be very complex also. Basically, it refers to postulated relationships between the supreme being and a human being, a belief in some sort of existence after death. So these features have important implications for family life education. See, basically, you all have been from a different kind of a religious background. So we observe we may have some special values in some supreme power. Some have some kind of a norms to observe, some beliefs, with God, that certain things are there as per the God wishes, and some do not believe in that kind of a thing. So it varies. It varies. So this is what it is. It explains that many moral concepts and religious concepts, such as respect for personal will, overlap, leading at least some people to believe that moral, ethical values and religious values means the same thing. Some may believe that they are different. Some may have a concept that these are all the similar kind of a thing, same things. Next is personal values. So personal values. What do we understand by personal values? You see, 1 minute. Yeah. Personal values. Personal value means family life education appears to be directed towards what is usually referred to as developing an understanding of one's own personal values and of learning to respect the personal values of others. So it's really important. So there is, according to Hum, there is a sociologist who says social moral judgment has to be with interpersonal behavior and addresses itself to basic human needs and fears, wants and desires, which are either to be satisfied or it can be avoided, and it is precondition for human beings to have a choice as pursuing quality of life in any form. So that's important. So this is what we understand by personal values. So personal values, basically, it is being claimed that it is important one because the subject matter and the strategies required for teaching social morality and personal morality are different. So, in general, teaching social morality requires serious and systematic attention to the rules and the principles of social morality, while education for personal morality requires some value clarification. So, family and social work values. So, it is here which we are studying the social work course. So, here it has been explained family and social work values. So, social work is rooted in humanitarian and based on certain values. Social work thrives in its beliefs in the basic worth and dignity of the individual. See, in social work, in our social work principles, also we believe that every individual, we have to believe in the worth and dignity of a human being, of a person who's living on the earth. That's something which is really important. Fine. So, hence, the worth and dignity of all the family members should be recognized and respected by everyone in the family. Family members should be respected, accepted, cared, and showed concern for them in a non dominating way. There should be honesty towards each other. See, this is really very important that we really need to respect each other, believe each other, and believe in the honesty, to live with honesty with each other. When any distressful events occur with any member of the family, he should be encouraged. He should be encouraged, he should be motivated to move ahead in life. It's very important in family. When we are people are doing social work course and we come across different people with different kind of problems in the life, so we have to be, we really need to understand that person in such a way that we have to encourage that person, we have to motivate that person to understand that he has to move on in life. The life doesn't stagnate, doesn't stand at a particular place. You have to move on. Problems are there in the life of everybody. We all, I think we are 15, 16 of us are here in this room, in this classroom doing this course, and we can make out that the sorry, one second. Yeah. So huh. So we can make out that these are the values we really need to, any person who comes across us, we have to understand, believe in him, and give him that respect and commitment. So here values such as a sense of responsibility, commitment, hard work, and respect for others have very important place in family life education. So family life education basically helps to ameliorate or reduce many family related social problems and improve family living and social well being. It helps families across the lifespan in coping with difficult situations such as trauma, suicide, death, and prepare to assess needs of the family and interpret appropriately. So that's important. This is what we really need to understand and move on. Here, now we basically here we'll study about, one second. Yes. 1 minute. See, advantages. What are the important advantages of family life education? See, here, advantages of when we study the advantages of family life education. Just give me a minute, huh? Just 1 second. Yeah. See, the advantages of family life education, it is basically the educational role of a family life education. Family has always existed as a basis of social grouping among human beings, irrespective of the differences in its structure and functioning. So that's important. So family life education acts as a crisis manager. See, family life education always helps because it is the only the family which is always there with every individual. If there are any issues, any problem, the first person who will come across with us is the family member. It could be our sibling, it could be our parents, it could be our uncle, aunt, grandparents, anybody, with whom we can relate. So basically, it is the family life education acts as a crisis manager. So adolescents, especially this is something which is observed among adolescents. Adolescents have this issue. Adolescents feel this all the more, all the time. So that's there. So family life educations help in a proper understanding of family life cycle. Then you have, what are the needs of family life education? You know, needs of family life education. Family life education is necessary for each individual. So that's important. This family life education is very important for each individual. It is the professionals working in this area and allied fields need training. The activity becomes a full-time paid occupation. Training schools and curricula are established. Those who are trained have established professional association. So these are basically the need why we need to understand the family life education. So now we can move on to our third unit because today we started late, so time is short, so I am trying to hurry up. What are basically the objectives of family life education? So we now will study the family life education objective. So this is again something which is very, very important. So if we understand the family life education, we will be able to move on. You know, if we understand the objectives, it will help us to move on. So major objectives of family life education are develop knowledge regarding the concept of family, its role and its functions, So this is something which is really very important that we need to follow all the time. Just one second. Just yeah. So it says to family life educations aim at developing the ability to deal with family relationship and responsibility of family. Then it says basically family life education aims at developing life skills to cope with different situations. Then, family life education aims at helping in understanding and coping with changes in one's own life and changes in the society. So, then family life education aims at developing knowledge about physiological process in one's body, especially the process of human conception and birth. Then, family life education seeks to create responsible and useful young citizens. So that's important. This is how we understand what are the main objectives, why we need to understand and learn the importance of family life education. What are the major important objectives? After that, what is the importance? Why we need to understand and read this concept of family life education? So basically, the family life education means there are following way the indicators have been given here to understand the importance of family life education. First, here is expectation of marriage and family life are changing. What is expected in today's time in a marriage life, with time it is changed. Like we have seen, as we all know and as we all are observing and seeing, that in earlier time how the marriage was being considered, how the couples were, how the spouses were with each other, how the work responsibilities were completely divided between the two of them. But now, with changing time, when both the spouses are working, so both are taking different kind of responsibility in a different time. So that's how it is being changing. So this is what we need to learn. This is the importance of family life education that teaches us, that explains us about these concepts. Terms of marriage and family are changing. The understanding the meaning of marriage. As we studied in our initial first unit about the concept of marriage and how the marriage is being understood and the different way the marriage is being formed, and what all criteria are there to understand. So all that we have studied in it. So then life doesn't prepare most person for new family roles. See, sometimes we don't expect the life will prepare us. you know, like when the child is going, it is not the going of the child itself will explain us what are his role and responsibility in different age group. This is something we learn. It is something, this is a concept of this family life education that teaches us. So that's important. Then benefits of happy family life and adjustment. This is again something we can say, this is not, there is no teaching, nobody requires any teaching about this. But if there are some, if this is the kind of course what we are doing now, and this kind of a thing, if we learn what are the importance, why the family life education is important, what is the importance of the family, of living together, of staying in a happy family married life, sometimes you understand the need of a counselor. Many married couple visit counselors also when there are disturbances between them, when they are not able to adjust and understand each other. They visit they visit the marriage counselors also, and marriages are broken also due to different reasons. So that's the important thing. Then consequences of marital breakdown. So this is again something. See, as I said, the counseling is important in the marriage life when there are differences, when they are able to not able to understand one another. So there is a question of what can this marital breakdown can lead to. This can lead to divorces, this can lead to suicides, this can lead to murders. It can lead to any kind of a problem. This again we are going to study in our further units. And next, I think it will be there in the fourth block when we understand these consequences of marital breakdowns in detail. Benefits of family life education. So benefits, as we are studying now, as we are talking about it, so all those benefits we can understand and see how well we can use them in our day-to-day life. Then starting early prevents breakdown. You know, as I said, that visiting to a counselor or visiting to a older family member at times can help us to break down in these kind of a marital issues. You know, if there are any disturbances, if there are any difficulties in the families, so this can help. The counselor can help, or even the elders at home can help to prevent these kind of a breakdowns. Then the last point here is the pandemic. See, the pandemic of HIV and AIDS. This is again something, about this also we will study in detail in our next blocks. But here again, it is very important that HIV and AIDS is spreading. And I have about Africa also, I studied, you know, when I was studying about your countries. So I have seen in many countries, HIV AIDS is very much there. And so many people are, facing this menace and facing this issue and struggling to lead a normal life. So for to how we can, uh, what all is needed to prevent HIV/AIDS and what all can be done to cure it. So this is something we really need to understand and learn about it. So we will study, I think, in our next units in detail about this part also. Then there is a society, basically is the name for group of people who live together. A society is composed of many different types of organizations and institutions, and family is one of them. In fact, the family is the primary unit which constitutes society. Family, community, and society are regarded as special dynamic institutions which interact among themselves. So this is what we understand about importance of family life education. Now, see, as we say, we all are a part of the family system. Now, here it explains. So there are the three units, three different. It is divided and explains the role of all. It first explains the role of an individual as a single person. What is our role in a family? Then it explains the role of a family. Then it explains the role of a community in family life education. So first we study the role of a family. So role of a family, when we understand the role of a family, role of an individual. First of all, we are learning the role of an individual in a family life. So when we study the role of a individual, family life education basically focuses on how individuals, as constituent parts and fruits of family life, may become physically healthy, emotionally mature, disciplined, responsible, and tolerant human beings. Human beings perform different roles and functions. Different roles could be like a husband, wife, parent, child, etc. And the functions could be child care and development, family resource management, family planning. These are the different functions, individual can perform. So that is why the same individual is supposed to know about all these aspects, their prospects and consequences. So all these needs can be categorized under different headings. There are two kinds of needs. One is felt needs and second is development needs. In many cases, there is an overlap between these two kinds of needs. Educational needs of new parents, for example, may be both felt needs expressed by the parents themselves and the developmental needs emerging from their new role and responsibility. So that is there, na? So these are the felt needs also and developmental needs also. An individual can play a role about. Uh, just give me a minute because somebody is calling me repeatedly, so I just need to take that. Sorry. Yeah. So now there is another category of need that deserves special attention, which is called societal needs. So these are needs which emerge from current and anticipated social, economic, and political conditions that impact in important ways on the lives of all individuals. The belief that parenting skills, knowledge, and attitude can be learned through programs of education as opposed to learning from one generation to another has given rise to a host of such programs around the world. So this is what we see how the individual can play a very important role, you know. Now, next is role of family. Role of family in family life education. See, family performs certain functions amongst individuals. These functions are discussed below in relation to their role in family life education. First is biological function. So when we talk about biological function, that is husband and wife have the right to sexual expression as a way of sharing or showing their love for each other. You know, this provides not only sexual gratification for the spouses, but it also strengthens their interpersonal relation, their love and unity as a result of the powerful and often building emotion with accompanying sexual activities between a husband and wife. Basically, the family provides opportunity in which sexual drives find both expression as well as control. So this is what is biological function. Then it is cultural function. What are the cultural functions? Family helps the child to acquire values, beliefs, customs, and traditions to the society. It is the family that the child's basic attitude develops. है ना? So if puja is performed in a family in the morning, children also learn, है ना? And acquire this value of prayer and religiosity. So this is important. You can also, you all can relate with this. This is something which can happen in any family. Any family can have this kind of a situation where the children learn the cultural values within the home, within the family, how the parents are, how they behave. That can help a child to grow and develop, a kind of a personality. Then there are economic functions. So what are the economic functions? The economic functions means we understand optimum utilization of income and labor. Families pool their resources that they can have maximum satisfaction by budgeting efficiently. है ना? This economic cooperation within the family not only goes a long way towards fulfilling the economic functions for the society as a whole, but provides rewarding experience for the spouses working together, which cement their union to work towards family goals such as providing good education, health, and comfort to their children. So that is important. Then we have emotional and psychological. Emotional and psychological functions. So human beings are emotionally and psychologically very sensitive. They need the family to recharge themselves for the struggles in the world. So in time of any difficult situation, there is a need to have a support from the family members, and that support can be provided by mother, father, grandparents, brothers, sisters. Anybody can provide the emotional and psychological support within the family to the other family members. Then educational function. See, beginning with toilet training, it starts. When a child is born, the first thing is slowly and slowly the child starts learning the toilet training skills, the language skills, and then the socially acceptable behavior. A family performs the important functions of education of children and their socialization. So all this comes under the educational function. Then the last is the cosmic function. See, the cosmic function here means that man feels adrift in the larger impersonal universe. He becomes largely alienated in the industrialized and urban society. So living in a family helps to give him her a place in the cosmos that makes him feel connected to others and rooted to the earth. So these are the basic roles of a family in a family life education. Then now we are going to talk about role of community. So role of community, we know that a person rarely exists alone. It is a fact that people who reside in a particular locality over the length of time develop social likeness, have common social ideas, common traditions, and a sense of belonging. Three specific roles performed by community which are important from the family life education point of view are: community acts as a preserver of values related to family life. Second, I'm not going into detail due to our time shortage. Then second is community act as a resistant. And the third is community provides moral policies. Moral policing as far as community is concerned. So there are three major settings currently which offer family life education for adults, that are religious, social, and professional organizations, mass media, schools, and university. We are going to study about schools and mass media and other things in our next unit. We will study about it. But for today, I am closing it here. If anybody has any question, please ask. I would be happy to give 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes we can have if there are any question answers. Anyone? Any one of you, if you are attending, if you are listening to me, I would be very happy to answer.
Come again, ma'am.
Huh?
What do you say, ma'am?
I didn't get you. What did
Hello?
you say? Yeah?
You said that if we are with you, we have to ask. I did not get what you said. That's why I'm asking.
So, how to go about it? How do I explain?
You
I
explained
feel
very
I
well,
was.
ma.
Huh?
You explained very well, sir.
Huh. So maybe tomorrow we have the different because we have five more classes. I will try to give examples as many as possible from my side. And tomorrow there is one subject which is related to personality development that I think you will all enjoy because we will be talking about many different aspects. And I will see that my this PPT doesn't take long to start and we will be able to give time as much as possible tomorrow. That I would be very happy if you come out with questions and have try to have it an interactive session. I always, in India, what I am doing wherever I go for lectures and training, that is my profession. And my sessions are always very interactive because I